Hello, entrepreneurs and small business owners. Ben here. And if you're like a lot of small business owners, you've probably never created a strategic plan or a business plan. And if you have, it was probably, let's be honest, half gluteus. Half gluteus. You know what I'm talking about? No disrespect, but it's probably true. And that's okay. You know, you're not alone. A lot of small business owners don't think about strategic planning. They create a business, they have a great idea, they run with it, and then they struggle and they're not quite sure why. And it's because they didn't really have a great plan, clear plan when they started. And if you're not any of the above, right, have you changed your business plan in any kind of way since the pandemic has begun? Now, I know a lot of people didn't because we didn't think it was going to last this long, but here we are. It's what, August? I mean, we've been in this thing for 6, 7 months now. And if you haven't created a new plan, it's time, right? I know a lot of businesses have pivoted, they've created new plans, and those are the ones that are still being successful. But I see a lot of people on Facebook, other social media, and they're out there just complaining and whining, waiting for the government to open the economy back up. And I don't know when that's going to happen, guys. It may be next month, next week. It might be next year. So there's things you can do to create a new strategic plan and get your business back up and running and start being successful today, right? And that's what this series is going to be all about. So I'm going to create a 5-day challenge. This is day 1. And they're going to be quick. They're going to be 5, 10-minute videos. It's going to be really impactful. There's going to be some homework you have to do before you come to the next module, and we're just going to build upon module per module per module. By the time we get to day 5, you're going to have a solid, clear, concise, strategic plan that's really designed for entrepreneurs and small business owners. And I'll just share a real quick story before we get started. When I owned a business years ago, it was back in 2008. It's one of the many businesses that I owned. And of course, the economy was horrible in 2008. It tanked. And I continued to operate my business the same way, right? What had gotten me to that point, I continued to do those processes. I continued with the same plan. And I'm a proponent of, give your plan time, don't change it. But when the environment changes, it's time to change your plan. So I didn't change. And of course, I paid for it. I paid dearly in a lot of sort of ways, a lot of ways, and not just monetarily with that particular business. So I was just stubborn. I didn't change my plan. I didn't think to create a new strategic plan. So that's what today's all about, right? And this is day 1. So let me share my screen here and we'll get this party started, guys. Bear with me. All right, we should be sharing, and I'm going to turn my video off here so it's not distracting. I'm not sure why this thing's doesn't seem to be working right. Hang on, bear with me, guys. Did I lose my meeting? I didn't share. I'm just the worst. Hang on a minute here, guys. I'll share my screen. There we go. Now we're rocking. All right, so let me turn this video off so that it's not distracting in any kind of way. All right, guys, so what I'm going to be teaching you guys in this 5-part series is the Be Small, Fight Big strategic plan that's designed for entrepreneurs and small business owners. And it's really similar to the book over here, Be Small, Fight Big, how small businesses can fight like a Fortune 500 and win the war on talent. Same principles. I took processes and constructs that larger organizations use, and I modified them to work for the limited resources that most entrepreneurs and small businesses have. But we're not talking about hiring great teams today. We're going to be talking about strategic planning. And all this information I share with you today and for this entire series is taken exactly or straight from my workshops and my one-on-one coaching that I do with my business clients. So chock full of useful content. It's a little watered down, obviously, because I can't fit a 2-day workshop or a 6-month coaching engagement into 5 days and 10-minute videos. But I promise you, if you stick with it and do the homework, you're going to have a great plan and you're going to get a lot of value out of this series. So let's get this party started, guys. Oops. So what is strategic planning? Oops, I went too far. All right. So what is strategic planning, right? It's simple. It's a process that helps organizations get clarity about what matters most to their success, helps them identify and commit to the most important priorities, and gets them organized or aligned, ready to take action, and hold them accountable to the priorities, right? So they can achieve that success. And of course, so they can grow their businesses. Now, today we're going to be talking about 3 things in particular: vision, mission, and values. And all of those are important. Now, for those of you that know me, I am not a big kumbaya, hold hands kind of guy. And this is going to be the only module that's going to be even moderately kumbaya, but it's got to happen. It's that important you've got to get really clear on your vision, mission, and values. And so, no worries. If that's not your cup of tea, it's not mine either. We're not going to be singing Kumbaya and holding hands for this entire series. We're just going to do a little bit of that today, but it's that important. So let's dig into that. So vision. All right. You need to create a 1 year, right? And you need to create a 5 to 10 year vision. Now, used to be people would tell you to create a 5 to 10 year, and that was kind of it, because you could do a 5 to 10 year vision or a 5 to 10 year business strategy, and it was successful. But the way things move today, right? The way we shop, the way we buy, the way the market works, and the way technology is continuously just growing at a breakneck speed, you really can't do a 5 to 10 year business strategy anymore. You want to have a 5 to 10 year sort of vision, and you might want to do some longer term goals in there, but 1 year is kind of where it's at, guys. Do a 1 year and then do a 5 to 10 year, overall plan. But I wouldn't hold anything in concrete when we talk about 5 to 10 years. That 1 year is where you want to be. Some people will do a 3 year, and that's okay. But I'll tell everybody, every year you should create a new plan. Even if it's you carry over some of the stuff from the previous year, that's okay, right? Because maybe you do have a long-term 5-year vision, or a 10-year vision, but you really need to have a 1 year strategic plan, because the market just changes so dramatically. Look at where we're at right now with this pandemic. If you had a plan last year, I promise you it's got to be thrown out the window. And that's really why we're doing this series. You need to create a new strategic plan. All right. So the first thing, create a vision. So when I talk about vision, what am I talking about? I want to be very clear. I'm not talking about goals or anything like that. When I say vision, I mean just what I mean, vision. When you close your eyes, what do you see you doing in your business? What would you like to see, right? Maybe you have a business where you can run it virtually and you can run it from anywhere in the world. Excuse me, I'm getting dry mouth, guys. You can run it from anywhere in the world. Or maybe you want to sit on a beach and just have passive income, right? So what is that vision? Maybe you have a chain of small franchises, 7 or 8 stores, and you're working part-time and you're in those stores just doing spot checks part-time, 20 hours a week, right? I don't know. Everybody's going to be different, but what is your vision? What do you want your business to look like? And that's what you've got to get really, really, really serious on, right? What is your vision? The next piece obviously is mission. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. Most businesses know what a mission is. Most of them are not all that serious or accurate when we talk about mission and mission statements. But short version is, what contribution will your work make to the people you serve, and why is that important to them? And write that down. You want to write your vision down. You want to write your mission down, because I'm telling you, we're going to build upon all these things as this 5-day challenge goes on. It's sort of like building a house. And I know it's an old analogy, but you got to have the foundation right first before you start building the walls. And this is our foundation, guys. So mission, right? What contribution will your work make to the people that you serve, and why is that important? And of course, write it down. Last thing is values, right? We talk about the top 5 non-negotiable. What is the top 5 immovable values? Meaning they are not negotiable, right? You're not going to flex on them, right? I would say create a list of about 10 or 15 values, but take your top 5 and say, these are the ones that we're drawing a line in the sand in, and we are not going to, fudge or flex on those in any kind of way. Maybe it's honesty, maybe it's integrity, maybe it's great quality product, maybe it's timely service, whatever that is to you. What are they? Write them down. And of course, what are your top values that you will not tolerate? Maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's poor attitudes, or disrespecting one another inside the workspace, right? Write those down. Same thing. The top 5 are going to be your non-negotiable. So write them all down. Just kind of brainstorm them. Get your team together if you got a leadership team, and brainstorm those things. Write them all down, and then pick your top 5 and make sure everybody knows, right, what those top 5 are. The other ones may be important, and everyone maybe need to know those as well. But the top 5, those need to be non-negotiable values in both lists, and make sure everyone in your staff knows what they are. Like it's part of orientation day number 1. And that's got to be from you all the way down. I'm assuming you're the owner, all the way down to the frontline people, to the guy who washes the counters and the floors. And ask yourself this, and write this down as well, because we're just kind of getting started on the strategic plan, but these are things we're going to come back to later on, and they might be something that you add or make a priority in your strategic plan. So ask yourself this: where do we live those values, and where do we not live those values? If you're not living them, what can we do to change that? And that's going to be very important as we get into this over the next few days. I'm going to try to post every one of these 5-day challenges every day. So this one will start today, and then part 2 will be on Monday, and so on and so forth. But it's very, very important that you answer these questions for yourself, if nothing else. What are your values? What will you not tolerate? Where do you live them? And where do you not live those values? And then we'll come back to this later, I promise you. Same thing with mission, and same thing with your vision. All right. So this is what you should have so far complete in this module. You should have 3 things. You should have your vision, your mission, your non-negotiable values. And of course, your values should have 2 lists of what you'll absolutely not budge on, right? And write all this stuff down. I can't say it enough. Write it down. Put some serious thought into it, right? And of course, if you can't wait for the next part in the series and you want to learn more about what we do to help entrepreneurs and small business owners grow their businesses, then head over to VisaNotConsulting.com. I've got a ton of free resources there on our blog and on our Next Level Leadership and Small Business Owner podcast. I would definitely check those out. Also, make sure you scroll to the very bottom of any page on our website and download the free white paper on why small businesses fail. It's chock full of useful information that can help you avoid failure and, of course, grow and scale your business to its full potential. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. Just search for it or click the link above. I'll include the link above here. It's also called the Next Level Leadership and Small Business Owner Group. That's on Facebook. And that will keep you up to date and provide you with a ton of free trainings and other valuable resources. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I'll see you in the next module.